Today, I'm going to delve into three pivotal developments that underscore hydrogen's growing role in decarbonizing industry and transport. First, I'll examine a strategic partnership between electric hydrogen and Titan metal fabricators to scale electrolyzer manufacturing in the United States. And next, I'll analyze a comprehensive study on water requirements for Texas's burgeoning hydrogen sector. And finally, I'll explore Mongolia's ambitious plans to leverage renewable resources for hydrogen production. All of this on today's Hydrogen Podcast. The first topic today centers on a significant advancement in hydrogen production technology, reported by Power Magazine on February 15th of 2025. Electric Hydrogen, a leader in green hydrogen solutions, has partnered with Titan metal fabricators to enhance the manufacturing of proton exchange membrane electrolyzers. This collaboration, based out of Electric Hydrogen's 1 gigawatt facility in Devens, Massachusetts, aims to meet escalating demand for clean hydrogen, particularly for industrial and heavy transport applications. And let's start with the technical details. PEM electrolyzers use electricity to split water into hydrogen and oxygen, relying on a solid polymer membrane and high-purity water. Electric hydrogen systems operate at efficiencies of 80 to 85%, consuming approximately 50 to 55 kilowatt hours per kilogram of hydrogen produced. And this is among the best in the industry. Their Devens plant, operational since late 2024, has a capacity of 1 gigawatt, translating to 50 tons of hydrogen daily, or 18,250 tons annually, assuming continuous operation. That's sufficient to power roughly 1,200 Class 8 hydrogen fuel cell trucks per year, each requiring 15 tons annually for a 500-mile range per the U.S. DOE. Titan Metal Fabricators brings critical expertise in corrosion-resistant materials, specifically titanium, which is ideal for electrolyzer stacks due to its durability and acidic environments. A single PEM stack might contain 50 to 100 cells, each with the titanium bipolar plates costing $200 to $300 per unit. For a 1 megawatt system producing half a ton of hydrogen daily, that's $50,000 to $75,000 in materials alone. Titan's role is to optimize fabrication, reducing costs by 10 to 15% through precision engineering and economies of scale, while ensuring a lifespan exceeding 80,000 hours, or over 9 years of continuous use. Economically, this partnership is poised to transform the hydrogen supply chain. Building a 1 gigawatt electrolyzer factory costs between $500 million and $1 billion US, factoring in equipment, which is $300 to $600 million, land and labor per industry benchmarks from Bloomberg NEF. Electric hydrogen's investment, particularly offset by the U.S. Inflation Reduction Act's 45V tax credit, offering up to $3 per kilogram for hydrogen with a carbon intensity below 0.45 kilograms of CO2 per kilogram of hydrogen, could yield $54 million annually in credits at full capacity. With green hydrogen production costs currently at $3 to $5 per kilogram, this drops the effective cost to $1 to $2 per kilogram, aligning with the DOE's hydrogen shot target by 2030. And the market implications are substantial. The global electrolyzer market, which is valued at $3.5 billion in 2023 by Markets and Markets, is projected to reach $23 billion by 2030, with a compound annual growth rate of 30%. North America's share could hit $5 billion, driven by demand from decarbonizing sectors like ammonia production, which is 60% of U.S. hydrogen use, and heavy transport, which is growing at 25% annually. Electric hydrogen's output could capture 5 to 10% of this, generating $250 to $500 million in yearly revenue at $3 per kilogram, with Titan's manufacturing efficiency boosting margins by 8 to 12%. And this isn't just about numbers, it's about strategic positioning. The U.S. imported 70% of its electrolyzer components in 2022. This partnership cuts reliance on foreign supply chains, creating 200 to 300 direct jobs in Massachusetts and thousands more indirectly. For heavy transport, it means reliable domestic hydrogen supply. Think fleets of trucks refueling at $50 per fill-up versus $80 for diesel equivalents. Electric Hydrogen's CEO notes that, quote, "This is the foundation of a scalable, decarbonized future. With Titan's titanium prowess, they're building systems that last, perform, and pay off. It's a triple win for the hydrogen economy." Next, let's turn to Texas, where in a March 1st of this year's article in MSN highlights a University of Texas at Austin study on water demands for the state's hydrogen industry. Texas is a hydrogen powerhouse, home to 50% of U.S. hydrogen production, largely blue hydrogen from natural gas with carbon capture. But as green hydrogen scales, water becomes a critical input, and this study provides a roadmap for sustainable growth. The technical breakdown is illuminating. Green hydrogen via electrolysis requires 9 liters of high-purity water per kilogram of hydrogen, plus 20 to 30 liters for cooling and processing, totaling 30 to 40 liters per kilogram in practice. For blue hydrogen, steam methane reforming with carbon capture, water use ranges from 10 to 20 liters per kilogram, but cooling towers push it to 50 to 60 liters with carbon capture units. The study models a 2050 scenario where Texas produces 1 million metric tons of hydrogen annually, 500,000 tons green and 500,000 tons blue. That's 15 to 20 billion liters or 4 to 5.3 billion gallons for green and 25 to 30 billion liters or 6.6 to 7.9 billion gallons for blue, totaling 2.5 billion gallons on average or 7,600 acre-feet, assuming a 50-50 split. Now, context matters here. Texas' total water use is 17 million acre-feet annually, with agriculture claiming 60% or 10.2 million acre-feet. Hydrogen's 7,600 acre-feet is just 0.07% of that, a manageable footprint. The study identifies resources, 3 trillion gallons of brackish groundwater in West Texas, requiring desalination at 50 cents to $1 per 1,000 gallons, and the Gulf Coast's limitless seawater desalinated at $1 to $2 per 1,000 gallons with reverse osmosis. A 10-megawatt green hydrogen plant producing 500 tons annually, or 1.5 million gallons of water, incurs $1,500 to $13,000 in water costs, which is negligible against $1.5 million in hydrogen revenue at $3 per kilogram. Economically, Texas is primed to capitalize. The state's hydrogen market could reach $100 billion by 2050, per Deloitte estimates, with 1 million tons generating $3 billion annually at current prices. Green hydrogen plants, powered by Texas's 40 gigawatts of wind and solar, cost $20 to $30 million each for 10 megawatts, producing 500 tons yearly, $50 million in revenue over a 20-year lifespan, this with a 15% internal rate of return. Leveraging $2 billion in existing SMR infrastructure adds $1.5 billion yearly at $1.50 per kilogram post-carbon capture. Water treatment adds $5 to $10 million annually statewide, less than 0.5% of revenue, while creating 500 to 1,000 jobs in desalination and logistics. And this study isn't a warning, it's a green light. Texas can triple hydrogen output without straining water resources, supporting 50,000 jobs and cutting CO2 by 10 million tons annually. For heavy transport, it means 50,000 hydrogen trucks on Texas highways by 2050, each saving $20,000 yearly over diesel. The lead researcher puts it succinctly, saying, "Water is a challenge we can solve." Texas is proving hydrogen scalability 1 gallon at a time. And lastly, we look at Mongolia, where in a March 3rd of this year article, DevDiscourse outlines an ambitious vision for renewable hydrogen leadership in Mongolia. Known for coal and vast steppes, Mongolia boasts 2.6 terawatts of renewable potential, 1.1 terawatts solar and 1.5 terawatts wind, capable of generating 200 million tons of green hydrogen annually if fully harnessed. That's a theoretical $600 billion market at $3 per kilogram, dwarfing today's 10 million ton global output. Technically, Mongolia's resources are unmatched. Solar yields 1,500 to 1,800 kilowatt hours per square meter yearly, and that's 30% above the global average, while wind speed hits 8 to 10 meters per second in the Gobi Desert, driving turbine capacity factors to 40 to 45%. A 10-megawatt electrolyzer powered by a $15 million wind-solar hybrid produces 500 tons of hydrogen yearly, using 50 kilowatt hours per kilogram at 85% efficiency, or 25 megawatt hours daily. Pilot projects like Sand Hydrogen Hub, which is 5 megawatts, and Gobi H2, 10 megawatts, target 1 to 2,000 tons annually by 2027, with water from saline aquifers desalinated at $1 per 1,000 gallons, or $5,000 to $10,000 yearly per plant. The economic case is compelling. Renewable electricity costs are 3 to 4 cents per kilowatt hour, or $1.50 to $2 per kilogram of hydrogen for power, plus $1 for capital and operations, totaling $2.50 to $3 per kilogram. Exporting 50,000 tons annually to China, 500 miles away via pipeline, which is estimated at $50 million to build, yields $125 to $150 million at $2.50 to $3 per kilogram. Scaling to 1 million tons by 2040, a $10 million investment and 20 plants could generate $3 billion yearly, boosting Mongolia's $15 billion GDP by 20%. Steel and power sectors in China, needing 5 million tons of hydrogen by 2030, offer a ready market, with transport costs at 20 to 30 cents per kilogram. And policy support is robust. Tax incentives cut electrolyzer costs by 10%, and a National Hydrogen Council targets 10% renewable hydrogen and energy by 2035. Water scarcity, 1,500 cubic kilometers total, mostly saline, requires $20 to $30 million in desalination infrastructure by 2040, or a fraction of revenue. For heavy transport, Mongolia could fuel 3,000 trucks domestically, while exporting to Asia's 50,000 truck market. This is Mongolia seizing a $10 billion opportunity, proof that hydrogen thrives where renewables shine. All right, that's it for me, everyone. If you have a second, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a good review on whatever platform it is that you listen to. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, whatever it is. That would be a tremendous help to the show. And as always, if you ever have any feedback, you're welcome to email me directly at info@thehydrogenpodcast.com. So until next time, keep your eyes up and honor one another.